Hi there, I'm Cheryl. This is part one of a two-part card, and we're going to be making these daisies and the leaves to put on the front of the card in this video. So we're going to use the Delightful Daisies from Heartfelt Creations. That's the stamp, and then I'm also using the die, and I'm going to use both. I'm going to do the 3D Floral Basics Shaping mold. I'm going to mold them first, but then I'm also going to show you how to do them by hand, and if I have time, I'll show you a variation on that too. Hopefully I have time. I have my foam mat for my flower shaping. It's quite thick. I don't know if you can see that very well with the black, but it's quite thick. A mouse pad would work if you don't have something like this. Any thick foam, thick firm foam would work. I have my Stampin' Spritzer and I have my aqua painter, either one of these type of things, or even just a little thing of water, and you could just use your finger to wet your flowers. I have a couple styluses here, sponge daubers. I have a full sheet of heavy cardstock. You want heavy cardstock, that works best, I found, for these flowers. I'm going to be using a Melon Mambo ink, lemon lime twist, and Pear Pizzaz. And we can get started on this. I have my flowers already mounted, my flower stamps already mounted. And this is just a piece of plexiglass that I use for my very large stamps or background stamps sometimes. And I'm going to ink that up with the Melon Mambo. I'm just pretending because magically I already have my flowers stamped on the other side of this paper. Okay, so I have three big ones. I'm only going to use one on the card, but because I'm going to demo different ways of doing it, I have three of them here. And then we're going to be using these two also. So let's stamp our leaves on here. Oh, and off on the side here I have my Big Shot. And I've got my magnetic platform mounted on that, simply because I have the extended platform and it just takes up too much room. So I'm going to be taping the cutting dies down on these. So I'm going to do, I don't know, do a couple leaves, because I always like to have at least, I like to have extra leaves, because you never know where you're going to want to tuck some leaves in. And I'm using the Pear Pizzaz for this to stamp it. And let's see, while I have the Pear Pizzaz out, I'm going to pick some up with my sponge dauber and dab that off a little bit on my silicone mat here. And then just up the center of each of these leaves, I'm going to add some Pear Pizzaz. I like to do a lot of my shading and the coloring of my flowers before I cut them out. I just find that's easier for me to do. So we just get that all shaded in. And since I have the green out already, let me just get that Pear Pizzaz stamped out there. I'll get my lemon lime twist out, and we're just going to fill in everywhere else on these leaves with the lemon lime. It's such a pretty color. I really only need one of these leaves. So let me just fill this one in. It's for the demonstration. Well, I'll do two of the little ones. Because I'll show you how to shape those with by hand also. Okay. Now I'm going to get my Melon Mambo and a clean dauber. And we're just going to do part way down these flower petals. You want it a little bit darker towards the tips. And almost done with this one. Oh, I'm off the screen here, I see. So get the tips good and then just blend down a little bit. And every one doesn't have to be exactly the same. As a matter of fact, it looks a little better if you vary them a little bit. I think it looks more natural. And there we go. Okay. I'm not going to even color the last one. Alright, so now we need our dies. And where did I put those? Oh, back here behind me. I'm going to take my dies out. And these just line up perfectly with these flowers. You see? Oh, let me do the centers. I'm going to use the lemon lime for the centers of these flowers. And I want like lots of lemon lime right in the middle. And I'm going to blend it out towards the pink. But don't touch, because that will make an awful muddy color. Let's put some on this one. There we go. Just to clean the ink out of my sponge dauber. Alright. So now I'm going to take my dies, and these just line up perfectly with the whole group of flowers, and it just makes it so easy. I was fussy cutting, and that's fine. It took forever. And now I can make flowers so much faster though. Let me cut out this section, because this whole sheet's not going to fit through my machine. Okay, so let me bring this in. Just a regular cutting sandwich, whatever you use for your die cutting machine. And I have one flower cut. Pop these guys out. And we'll do... I need to cut that apart. Line these up. And tape it down. Oh, now I moved it. And run that through the die cutting machine. And if you're new to crafting, that sound you heard, that crackling sound, that's nothing bad. You don't have to worry about that. These die cutting machines often make that sound. And now we'll cut our last flower out, and hopefully I'll get to show you the variation. And we'll just line this flower up. Put some tape on there. And we'll run that through. And get these leaves cut out. This must be terribly exciting to watch. Maybe I should have cut some of these out beforehand, huh? Line my leaf up here. Tape that down. Run that through. Oh, incidentally, I have a little tip for you. Since you're probably falling asleep right about now. If you have trouble finding the ends of the rolls of your tape, save one of your little bread ties and put that underneath. And then you can just put that on there and find the end really fast. Okay, so there's that one. And just one more die cut here. And that's not lined up real good, but that's okay. I just want to get this done, so we can get on to the fun part. Okay. That's the last one. Now, I don't need my platform anymore. Or my dies. But first we'll do the we'll do these with this impression plate here. So we just put that in a suitable size. I like to poke the petals down a little bit. That seems to help keep it in the proper spot in the mold. And I spritz that with a little water. If you don't have a spritzer, use an aqua painter, or like I said, just dip your finger in some water and wet the paper a bit. You don't need it real wet. And I'm just putting one of these leaves in this big container here. This big section here. And we just put this top on. And there are 4 little legs on these plates. And on the Big Shot, I found you can use the plate and then your 2 cutting plates. No platform. You don't use your platform. And you just run that through. And our flowers are all shaped, or almost shaped. I want to give it a little bit more dimension in the center. And then the leaf also is nice and crinkly. You see that? But this makes the flower shaping real easy. let me bring in my foam here and my flower. And I'm going to use a little bit bigger ball stylus, and this is maybe, oh, I don't know, maybe 3-4 millimeter. And I'm just going to go in the center here. I'm just going to pop that up. And you'll do your 2 smaller ones just exactly this same way. Pull in. There's not a whole lot to do on these. Okay, so there it is. If you want, you can curl your leaves a little bit, or your petals a little bit, and you're done. Now I'm going to show you how to do the how you do it by hand. Okay, so I have my flower. I'm going to put that face down, and you know what? I'm going to cut. There's little bits here that it doesn't cut all the way to the center. I'm going to cut those. Okay, there we go. They're all cut. And again, I'm going to spritz it. Let me put my leaf on here too. I can spritz my leaf at the same time. And I'm just going to spritz them. And with a very small ball stylus, we're going to just go right down these leaves and just make lots and lots of lines. Lots and lots of them. And you can follow the shape of the petal a little bit, but mostly you just want lots and lots of these little lines. Okay, then I'm going to take the larger ball stylus. I'm going to shape it a little bit. And I'm just doing this very lightly. I was pretty heavy-handed doing the lines. Now I'm just going to do it a little lightly. We'll turn this over and do the center. And there we go. That's how to do it by hand. And again, you can turn your petals under a little bit and wrap them around something round. Okay, if you don't have enough crinkles in there, you don't feel you have enough crinkles, then just take your paper and just kind of push it together and make yourself some wrinkles, extra wrinkles. Okay. So that's how you do it by hand. And these have to dry, because right now they're kind of floppy. When they dry, you're going to be amazed. They get like real stiff. Now we'll do the leaf, and I'm just poking. Just randomly poking this leaf, because I just want to get some texture in there. Okay, and we can do it so it's curled under like this. If you poke from this side, then the pieces are going to turn up. You see? So that's the leaf. That wasn't too bad, was it? Some flowers are very hard. They take quite a while to do. Now, I promised that I would show you a variation on this. So here's this last flower, my big flower. I'm going to turn that over. I'm going to mist it. Okay. And then I'm going to take, again, I'm going to take my fairly large ball stylus here And I'm going to go right down the center here. I'm going to make like a groove right down the center. And you see it's kind of crinkling up. You see this all around here? I'm going to do that on each of the petals. And I'm applying quite a bit of pressure. Okay, and then we'll turn it over. And let me show you how that looks. You see how that looks? That's kind of cool, isn't it? But then I'm also going to go on each of these tips. I'm going to come in, I'm going to give it a pinch. Just pinching those tips together. And then I'll set it down. And with the ball stylus, I'll go around and around here in the center, give a little pokes, and the petals will start to pop up. Now let me show you the difference between these two. You see? There's a whole different look to it. Okay, so that's it for the flower shaping video. Be sure to watch the second part, and I'll show you how to make the card that goes with these. So, if there are any Stampin' Up! Products that I've shown today that you'd like to purchase, you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website. If you liked my video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. There's a subscribe button down there too. If you'd like to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. And that's about it. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.